All right, we're here with Ben Haumiller, NCAA Football 10. Talk to us about Teambuilder. We got a little bit out of the press release earlier today.
Yeah.
So tell us more. What's going to be so exciting about this?
So for anyone who's been waiting for Creative School to make it into a next-gen title, you got that and more now. This is the most in-depth Creative School type feature anyone's ever added. You've been able to create a school before, you've never been able to build a team. So this is what we have now, is the ability to go from adding just something like the logo all the way down to the rating from the backup punter. You can do that all online now, create that school, then have that be able to be downloaded by both PS3 and 360 users to put in a game, put them in, play with them, put them in an online dynasty, play with them there, create your custom conference with all creative schools if you want to. Go to town.
It's that online element that I'm really into right now.
Oh yeah.
And being able to, you're talking about how are you going to build these teams and how are you going to get them into the game?
So you can go through and set everything about the school. So the name, the short name, the nickname, the logo, and you can pull in, you can take any FBS school, FCS school, as well as some generic we have, or custom load your own logo in there if you have something you want to use. So you want to get your own site logo in there, make a team, you can do it. You can move in and change the uniform however you want to have it look. So there's over 75 different uniform options you can make, 25 different helmets you can have. You can set your alternate helmet and your regular helmet, home and away uniform, alternate home and alternate away uniform. So 4 different uniforms, 2 different helmets you can create. Set the pants, set the sock color, set the shoe color, move on, set your field. If you want to have that the blue turf from Boise, that multi-turf that Oregon has. You want to go, or Nebraska, you guys got that too.
That's
there
right.
You go. So you want turf, you want grass. Where do you want the logos placed? What do you want the end zones to say? You can add all that stuff, change it up on the fly to make it look exactly like you want to have it. Go through, and again, with the rosters, set every player you want. Start with a base roster for a team, then go in there and edit everything you want to about them. Get them exactly how you want to. Those of you that have gone through and edited players on the console, you know that tedious process of just holding that trigger to the right and just waiting. Now, keyboard and mouse, just set them up and you're done.
Yeah, it's all done from the web, right?
It's all done from the web, and you can go in, you can edit a school that you've created, make some tweaks to it, get those downloaded. You can go search for other schools. So I can search for every school you've made. If I liked what you've done, get all your schools in. Search for schools by name, by location, by nickname, by creator, all that sort of stuff. You can create and find the schools that you want, get them downloaded into your game. And once I've downloaded them, if you make updates and I hear about it, I can go and search for that school to find the latest update to make sure I'm getting the freshest content.
Now you're bringing in, when you create this team, you're bringing them in, you're replacing somebody else, you're taking on their roster, is that correct?
So you're not taking on that roster because you're doing that on the web. So you can set whatever roster you want to there and take the tweaks from there. But when you are going in, you are taking over as that team. So if you go through and make a classic Nebraska squad, you're going to get Nebraska's rivals because you're taking over that squad. So you're kind of replacing that team in that dynasty world.
Yeah, and then you mentioned online dynasty, but fully integrated into that, you're able to bring them in. You can have a fully custom,
fully integrated into online dynasty. You can edit your team. You can bring in other teams as well. And you can have all 12 users if you're in a 12-user dynasty. You can even get to the CPU teams too. You can get to 120 creative schools into a dynasty.
That's amazing. All right, thanks, man.
There you go. Thank you.
Thanks.
This is a feature that the community, there's a group of guys who are really passionate about wanting to get this in the game. When you guys were going through and figuring out how you're going to design and make this, what are some things you pulled from the community that you saw, that's a good idea, or you thought, this is something that will really help them with this desire they have?
Yeah, this was the number one get for us this year. This was the number one thing that we knew. If we did anything else, that's great. Get this in the game. So that's where we attacked that. The customization portion of it, the different uniform styles, the helmets, the logos, that was really one of the key things that we got from the community, is they really wanted to see really in-depth uniform, just placements. I don't want just a logo right here. I want to be able to put a logo here, right in the middle of the collar, wherever you want to put it. Set that up and be able to do that. So we've got a lot of customization elements from there. And also the roster editing too. As I said, it takes forever on the console to move through and edit players. Now, click them, edit the number on the keyboard, move on to the next guy.
So, talk about the customization options. There are a lot of options when people are able to go on the website and do this. Can you talk about the different categories, everything you can do? I know you mentioned the rosters. I know you mentioned the field, but there's also stadiums, mascot. What are all the headers and different things they can edit overall?
So the first thing you'll see is that there's a general tab, and this is just the basic parts, your primary, secondary, and tertiary logos, primary, secondary colors, and the team names and that sort of thing. That's all you really need to do to create a school. From that point, based on what the information we have there, we can fill out everything else for you. But then you can go in the next step of layer and actually set up what you want the logo to look like. And when you custom import a logo, you can actually pull the colors straight from the logo and have those be your primary, secondary, and tertiary colors. So there's no kind of switch around, okay, is this the right garnet for Florida State, or is this the right crimson for Oklahoma? You can pull it straight out of that logo and have that be your color right there. And so that's a dream come true for those of us that aren't exactly the most art inclined to be able to do that. So once you get your logo set, you go through, you can set your uniform options, set your stadium, set a mascot you'd like to have, go through with your roster, you got your team created.
That's awesome. Thanks a lot, Ben. Looking forward to Teambuilder and NCAA Football 10.
Definitely glad to have it.